People are calling this the scariest horror movie since The Exorcist, and while that is a claim that a lot of horror movies do throw around, I can certainly see why people think this. This is Ari Aster's 2018 masterpiece, Hereditary. Now, I do personally think that Hereditary is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, and no horror movie that has been released since Hereditary has come anywhere near as close to being as good as this. But I don't necessarily think it's scary in the traditional sense, and I think there is an important difference between something being scary and something being horrifying. Because look, Hereditary is horrifying. Ari Aster doesn't spend this entire movie constantly trying to make you jump. He spends this movie trying to make you feel awful. This is a supernatural horror movie, but when Charlie dies, this movie stops being just a supernatural horror movie and it becomes a movie about unimaginable grief. Peter sitting silently in the car after it happens, Annie discovering the body, that awful dinner scene. These aren't traditionally scary, but they are emotionally horrifying. Toni Collette gives the performance of her career in this movie. Her performance in this film is incredible, and the fact that she didn't even get a nomination for an Oscar is a fucking insult. Her screaming and her crying after she discovers Charlie's body is exactly how I imagine that feeling would look like. And for me, that's why Hereditary is horrifying and why I find it frightening but not, overly scary. Ari Aster also makes everything surrounding the supernatural feel incredibly real. Toni Collette's performance is incredible, but all of the performances are incredible. The cinematography is incredible. The writing is incredible. And instead of just showing you something frightening, the camera often just sits there and waits for you to find it. There are so many genius shots in this movie of someone standing in a dark doorway, or Annie just like in the dark, or just in the peripheral of your vision. And then there is this overwhelming feeling that nobody can escape what is about to happen. And when you understand what the cult has been doing, you realize that this family have been completely fucked from the beginning. And I actually do think that that comparison to The Exorcist makes sense. The Exorcist isn't terrifying just because a little girl is possessed. It's terrifying because it's about a mother desperately trying to save her daughter from something that she doesn't understand. And Hereditary does something very similar, except the central idea of Hereditary might be even bleaker than The Exorcist. Because what if something that is destroying your family isn't something that has entered into your home? What if it was something that was always there, always within you,